It's hard for me to talk about Santa Cruz because I've never lived anywhere else. It's just normal. I mean, I grew up here. My mom was obsessed with the beach, so that was like always her dream, is to live in Santa Cruz, so that's where she forced us to live. I don't know, I grew up here. It was like a skate surf town. I never got into either. I stayed in the house and played video games and drew. Monsters. I only drew monsters. I drew weird shit. There's like a big giant drawing of a kid with a bunch of like weird, like a demon inside of him that's scratching to get out. In third grade, my teacher recommended that I be evaluated, psychologically evaluated, because she thought I was mentally disturbed. My mom said that no, he's just an artist, he likes to draw. And she said, that's not art, that's a cry for help. But I mean, I basically grew up a lot with my grandma. I didn't get along with my stepdad, so whenever there was a problem, I would just go stay with my grandma, or we would all stay with my grandma. But my grandma was always extremely supportive, to the point of being very annoying to my mom and my sister. To her, I was the golden boy that could do anything, and she made me really feel like I could do anything. It was like when she said, "You're gonna be a success," it wasn't like she was just saying it. It was like a fact. Like that was gonna happen, like that was that. Ether was kind of based around my niece. She kind of reminded me of me because she didn't really seem to like to play with other kids, and she liked to just do things by herself and explore by herself, and she was very imaginative, and she really liked monsters, so that whole thing like brought me back to when I was little, and I thought, how cool would it be to like make a game that could put other people inside my mind when I was like 5, 6, 7, and that was Ether. So this kid gets on the back of a monster, and the monster goes around in space, and he gets to explore all these other planets because he can't connect to anybody on Earth, so he goes to find other friends. But all these other planets are inhabited with these kind of weird or sad or nervous creatures. And he goes and tries to solve their problems, and he solves the problems, but they don't become happy. And he keeps going around all these different planets, but each time he solves one of these problems, the Earth gets smaller. And then when he comes back to Earth, and it's so small that when he touches it, it breaks, and then he's kind of lost in space. And it was kind of just like the ideas of, you know, it's really cool to be a creative kid, and it's cool to do all that stuff, but there's of course dangers of isolating and becoming obsessed with things and having phobias. And that was the whole thing, is like each of those planets was like a phobia of mine when I was little. And when I was little, before I'd go to bed, I would obsess about these things because I thought I'd be able to fix them, but in the end I would just make them worse. They wouldn't be fixed, but I would be so obsessed with them. The next day I'd go to school, I'd have stomach aches and I need to go home. A lot of the imagery and stuff that I pulled from, I'm still very, very, very happy with. To me, it speaks perfectly of how I felt when I was little. Like when I play that game, that's exactly how I remember it feeling, and still very happy with it. And then shortly after that, my grandma passed away, and she had a box of my drawings that she saved when I was little, and that's when I found this picture that I had drawn of me in space, floating. And this is Edmund floating in space, and my friend too is space, or something like that. Space is my friend, and my friend too is me. I should break that out. But yeah, no, it was validating to find that box and see those things and be like, wow, like this is just like the game.